over. What's happening in meetings right now is really being influenced by TED. Does anybody know what the acronym TED stands for? Anyone? It stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design, ideas worth spreading. And it's pretty much taken the meetings industry by storm. TED itself is all about engaging attendees and bettering the society in general. And there are certain specific rules to an actual TED event, which don't necessarily apply to all meetings and association events, but go ahead. Because one of the things that they have very strict rules, and one of them is like 18-minute speeches, no breakouts, no panels. It can only be a day long. You can't make a profit on a TED speech. The whole point of TED is to better the society, so it's very much a non-profit enterprise. You can't pay your speakers, but one of the ways that TED has influenced the meeting industry is it kind of brought a whole new atmosphere to meetings and a whole new idea of what meetings could be, particularly corporate meetings. One of the things that TED has changed is the way we design meeting spaces. And you'll notice with some of your clients, those of you who work in corporate or association events, that the stages are actually being built in towards the audience, and oftentimes they'll be placed in the middle of the room, and the audiences or the attendees will actually be seated around the stage. And the idea of that is to get the attendees involved in what's going on. Rather than having a traditional speech, the actual attendees are kind of involved in interacting and talking with each other as well as addressing the speaker. Oftentimes, too, you'll see pod-like seating or seating situations where people are facing each other so that they can interact. Casual dress is my casual dress guy. Meetings are getting much more casual. And there's a few reasons for being casual. One is that it makes people more able to do team building. And the other reason is the whole vibe is to relax. To take it easy and take in the meeting rather than feeling really formal and feeling like you have to be, uptight about where you are. So the whole vibe of the meeting industry is changing in that way. Varying session styles is another way that meetings are changing, and the reason why you're doing that is it actually breaks up your attention when things change out. So when you change out the way a room is set, or if you leave a room and you come back and it's a panel discussion as opposed to one person on a stage, basically that snaps you to attention, which is kind of the point of TED. It keeps people engaged and involved, and by kind of playing mind games a little bit, and I hate to put it that way, but it's scientifically known that if you actually listen to someone for too long, you start to lose them. So in this way, you keep the audiences engaged. Breaks are changing as well. They're getting really fun and interactive, and the idea is to try to keep people involved, keep people relaxed but energized at the same time so that they'll stay. So they'll stay all day, and also so that they'll be attentive later on, particularly in the afternoons. So spa breaks are big, yoga breaks are big, 10 to 15 minute little re-energizing sessions. We're getting asked a lot for cyber cafe stations where people can go and check their emails rather than having them leave the space. They're staying in the space. So this is one of our little cyber cafes, and you'll see people use it as a gathering area. And it really was effective for keeping people there and getting people back in the room when they needed to be there. Games are getting very popular for breaks, and this is a wonderful idea, again, to keep people's energy up, keep them interactive, keep their blood sugar up so that when they go in for that last session, they're active, they're alert, and they're awake. And surprise entertainment, this is one of my favorite things, and people are doing this for events too. And it's just a wonderful way to get people energized and to get people talking and to get people talking to each other about something fun that's happening. And in terms of doing this on a budget, you can. I have 2 separate clients that have bands, which seems to be quite common nowadays, and they're going to have their bands play at their meetings, and they're going to make it a surprise. So it's a nice way to get people involved, and it's a great way to kind of surprise people and give them something to chat about later.